What up, guys? Your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio, live from Dubai for Thursday, January 17th, 2019, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, facebook.com/Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, on Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Filmmaker Jason Reitman has signed on to direct and co-write a new Ghostbusters film following the events of the first two Ghostbuster films from the 1980s. Reitman, who is the son of director Ivan Reitman, who helmed 1984's Ghostbusters and 1989's Ghostbusters 2, is co-writing a new film with Gil Kenan. His father is producing. Reitman confirmed that he was attached to the new film on Twitter Tuesday. Finally got the keys to the car, he says. Production is set to begin in the coming months. Studio Sony has dated the project for summer 2020. Reitman said during an interview with Entertainment Weekly, "I've always thought of myself as the first Ghostbusters fan when I was a 6-year-old visiting the set. I wanted to make a movie for all other fans." He also said, "This is the next chapter in the original franchise. It is not a reboot. What happened in the 80s happened in the 80s, and this is set in the present day." Reitman says that the new film will feature new characters. It remains to be seen if original stars Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, or Ernie Hudson will be making appearances. Original star Aly Raisman died in 2014. Aykroyd, Murray, and Hudson had cameo roles in Sony's 2016 Ghostbusters film, which featured an all-female cast consisting of Kristen Wiig, Kate McKinnon, Leslie Jones, and Melissa McCarthy. The 2016 film did not take place in the same timeline as the originals. Keanu Reeves is on the run after being targeted by the International Assassins Guild in a new clip for John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. The footage released Tuesday serves as a teaser for the upcoming full-length trailer for an action sequel that is set to arrive on Thursday. Reeves, who plays John Wick, navigates rain-soaked city streets and enters into a large vault holding a gun in the clip. Lawrence Fishburne's character Briar King also makes a brief appearance. A new poster for Chapter 3 featuring Reeves looking through a rainy glass door was released on Twitter Tuesday. John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum from returning director Chad Stahelski is set for release on May 17th. Halle Berry, Angelica Houston, Asia Kate Dillon, Mark Dacascos, Jason Mantzoukas, Ian McShane, and Lance Reddick also star. Danny Glover is set to star in Sony's upcoming sequel to 2017's Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. Glover's role in the film is being kept under wraps. He joins a cast that includes returning stars Dwayne Johnson, Jack Black, Kevin Hart, and Karen Gillan, along with series newcomers Awkwafina and Danny DeVito. Jake Kasdan is returning to direct the base off a script he wrote with Scott Rosenberg and Jeff Pickner. The sequel will arrive in theaters on December 13th, 2019. Bill Murray will return with director Sofia Coppola on her new film. The Hollywood Reporter confirmed Murray will star with Rashida Jones in the A24 and Apple movie On the Rocks. Murray, who previously starred in Coppola's film Lost in Translation, will play a larger-than-life playboy father who reconnects with his daughter, played by Jones, during an adventure in New York. Production begins in the spring. On the Rocks is the first project from A24 and Apple since the company signed a multi-year production deal in November. The Rap says it is unclear if On the Rocks and other films from A24 will open in theaters or appear solely on Apple devices. Coppola most recently directed a remake of the 1971 movie The Beguiled, which opened in June 2017. Lost in Translation, starring Murray and Scarlett Johansson, debuted in 2003 and won an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay. Murray also will star in Jim Jarmusch's new film, The Dead Don't Die, and Wes Anderson's movie, The French Dispatch. Jones plays the title character on the TBS series Angie Tribeca and is also known for Parks and Recreations. Anne Hathaway has signed on to star in filmmaker Robert Zemeckis' upcoming adaptation of Roald Dahl's novel The Witches. Hathaway will be portraying the Grand High Witch in the Warner Bros. Feature, a role previously held by Angelica Houston in the 1990s film version of The Witches from directors Nicholas Rowe. Zemeckis was writing the new version, which follows Dahl's 1973 novel movie closely. Zemeckis is also producing alongside Jake Rapk, Alfonso Cuarón, and Guillermo del Toro. The Witches follows a 7-year-old boy who must stop a group of witches after he discovers a witch convention taking place. Hathaway will next be seen in a remake of 1988's Dirty Rotten Scoundrels and titled The Hustle with Rebel Wilson. The actress has also signed on to star in Warner Bros. Planned Sesame Street film. Netflix has renewed comedy series Grace and Frankie starring Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin for a 6th season. The streaming service made the announcement on Twitter Tuesday, alongside an image of the show featuring Grace, played by Fonda, and Frankie, played by Tomlin, holding hands together while sitting down. Season 5 of Grace and Frankie, set to feature television personality RuPaul in a guest role, set to debut on Netflix on Friday. Grace and Frankie, which premiered in 2015, follows the title characters whose lives are upended when their husbands reveal they are gay and want to be together. Martin Sheen, Sam Waterston, Brooklyn Decker, June Day and Raphael, Ethan Embry, and Baron Vaughn also star. Bachelor star Colton Underwood discussed the heartbreak of his split from Aly Raisman during the Tuesday's episode of the Lady Gang podcast. The 26-year-old reality star referred to the two-time Olympic gymnast as his first love, while recalling his worst heartbreak for hosts Kelty Knight, Jack Vanek, and Becca Toppin. He says, while it was confusing and it was hard in the beginning, it also taught me a lot about myself, what I needed, what I wanted, what can I do better in the relationship, the star said of his split from Raisman. He added, it was a big step for me, it was really tough. Underwood split from Raisman in June 2017 after several months of dating. He voiced his love and respect for the athlete in an interview with Us Weekly in July during her involvement in the Larry Nassar case and sentencing. The star explained of keeping his past relationship with Raisman private, to be very candid about it. She's going through enough right now. She doesn't deserve to be in this at all. She added, I have so much love and respect for Aly and the voice that she is and the role model that she is for every young woman out there. Underwood competed for Becca Kerfrin's affections in The Bachelorette Season 14, which aired over the summer. He is now looking for love in The Bachelor Season 23, which premiered last week. Broad City stars Abbi Jacobson and Ilana Glazer said they wept as they filmed the show's finale. The friends and co-stars said on Tuesday's episode of Jimmy Kimmel Live they spent hours crying while shooting the final episode of the Comedy Central series. Jacobson and Glazer told host Jimmy Kimmel they usually film scenes according to location, not chronological order, but purposely shot the final scene at the end. Glazer said of the experience, it was wild. So the characters are like weeping, but we're truly weeping, as is the crew. Jacobson joked, we could have, even if it wasn't emotional for us, we could have wept as actors. But it was helpful that we were emotional. Glazer says that she and Jacobson intentionally wrote the script, so their characters, Ileana Wexler and Abby Abrams, were crying in the final scenes. She says, it was like for 4 hours we were hysterically crying on a sidewalk in Queens. Glazer and Jacobson says they have definitely changed since Broad Street initially debuted as a web series in 2010. The TV version premiered in January 2014. Glazer says, we look at ourselves and the characters have nothing really going on. In real life, we are really smart and talented, but we're also idiots. It still happens, but on the show, we're just idiots. Jacobson added, we've been doing the show for 10 years now. We did the web series before the TV version. Now, there's like nowhere for other creative ideas to go. Broad City is to return for a 5th and final season on January 24th. Paris Jackson has reportedly entered treatment for the sake of her emotional health. Good Morning America confirmed Wednesday that Jackson, the 20-year-old daughter of late singer Michael Jackson, is seeking help at a mental health facility. Source told ABC News, after a busy year of work engagements that took her all over the globe, Paris decided that she needed to take some time off to reboot, realign, and prioritize her physical and emotional health. The insider told People that Jackson, an aspiring model and actress, is optimistic about the future. The source says she checked herself into a treatment facility to aid in her wellness plan and is really looking forward to coming out of this revitalized and ready to tackle the exciting new projects that await her. E! News said fans started to speculate about Jackson's well-being after she suddenly stopped posting on social media in mid-December. She also appeared to miss a family vacation in Tokyo with her brothers over the holiday. Jackson has been open about her struggles with depression and anxiety, recalling in an interview with Rolling Stone in 2017 how she attempted suicide several times as a teen. The star says, "I was crazy. I was actually crazy. I was going through a lot of that teen angst. I was also dealing with my depression and my anxiety without any help." She explained, "It was just self-hatred, low self-esteem, thinking that I couldn't do anything wrong, not thinking I was worth living anymore." Jackson made her feature-length film debut in the movie Gringo during her whirlwind year in 2018. She's the only daughter of Michael, who died at the age of 50 in June 2009, and is also parents to son Prince and Blanket. Macaulay Culkin says his much scrutinized friendship with Michael Jackson made sense. The 38-year-old actor defended his relationship with the late singer as a legitimate connection during Tuesday's episode of the Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum podcast. Culkin said he had a genuine friendship with Jackson. The star says, "I mean, at the end of the day, it's almost easy to try and say it was weird or whatever, but it wasn't, because it made sense, like we were legitimate. Yeah, we were friends in the most simple kind of way, and it's one of my friendships that people question. One, because of the fact that he was the most famous person in the world." Culkin was 10 years old when his starring role in the 1990 movie Home Alone catapulted him to fame. Jackson, who rose to stardom with the Jackson 5 as a kid, could relate to Culkin's experience. The actor said of Jackson, "He reached out to me because a lot of things were happening big and fast with me. Yes, I think he identified with that." He added, "He was the kind of person who had been through the exact same freaking thing and wanted to make sure that I wasn't alone in that. He was hilarious, sweet. People didn't know how funny he was." Culkin testified on Jackson's behalf during the singer's child molestation trial in 2005, calling the accusations against the star absolutely ridiculous. He remains friends with Jackson's children, including the singer's 20-year-old daughter, Paris Jackson. Dax Shepard is exploring the possibility of a past addiction to sex. The 44-year-old actor recalled his suspicious physiological response to relationships troubles during Tuesday's episode of the Fill in the Blanks podcast with Dr. Phil. Shepard told the host, "Dr. Phil, I'd say I've had what could maybe called a sex addiction at some point in my life. Not one that I had seek treatment for." He also added, "Up till then now, I would have just said, oh, I have sex with a lot of people. I like to do that. It's healthy. Who cares? I'm not getting diseases. I'm single, whatever." The Parenthood alum says he started questioning himself after getting in a fight with an ex-girlfriend. The star says, "I hung up the phone. I was driving in the car, and I immediately got horny. Now that's a biochemical feeling. I'm getting a serotonin dump. And I think, I'm going to text this girl I know, and I text that girl, and there was a delay." Then he said, "I was like, that's suspicious. I just felt disempowered by my girlfriend, and immediately I got horny. Can my brain be, like, taking care of me? I was just that my brain made me horny, so I didn't have to feel that other thing. So that's complex." Shepard has been open about his past addictions to drugs and alcohol. He marked the 12th anniversary of his sobriety in September 2016, voicing his gratitude for his family and sober lifestyle. The star said on Twitter, 12 years ago today, I came out of my last toxic, life-threatening stupor. I now have a wife and babies and some self-esteem. Hashtag gratitudes, hashtag promises. Shepard married Kristen Bell in October 2013 and are parents to two daughters, 5-year-old Lincoln and 4-year-old Delta, with the actress. The couple shared an emotional moment while celebrating Shepard's birthday on the Ellen DeGeneres show this month. Rihanna is suing her father for falsely using the family name Fenty, which is also the name of her beauty line. The singer filed the lawsuit in federal court in California, arguing that her father, Ronald Fenty, and his business partner, Moses Jacon Perkins, are using the Fenty name for their own Fenty entertainment business without her permission. Rihanna, a real name Robin Rihanna Fenty, trademarked the name in 2014 for Fenty Beauty, a makeup brand. Rihanna says her father and Perkins are using the Fenty name to trick businesses and investors into thinking Rihanna is involved with the Fenty Entertainment and will perform at various venues around the world. She is suing for false designation of origin, false advertising, and invasion of her privacy rights and public. Attorney Carla Santana writes in the complaint, Mr. Fenty and Mr. Perkins have used these lies in a fraudulent effort to solicit millions of dollars from unsuspecting third parties in exchange for the false promise that they will authorize to act on Rihanna's behalf, and or that Rihanna would perform at various locations throughout the world. She continues, simply put, Mr. Fenty, Mr. Perkins, and the company are not presently, nor have they ever been, authorized to exploit Rihanna's name, her intellectual property, or the goodwill associated with her well-known Fenty brand, or to solicit any business on her behalf. Rihanna has sent multiple cease and desist orders that were reportedly ignored. She is asking for an injunction against her father to stop using the Fenty name. Motley Crue bassist Nikki Sixx is going to be a dad of 5. Us Weekly confirmed the 60-year-old musician is expecting a baby with wife and How To Girl creator Courtney Sixx, 33. Courtney told the magazine, "We're over and moving excited to be having a baby. Nikki's going to be the most amazing dad in the world because he already is." Radar Online says Courtney is several months along in her pregnancy and this is sad to be expecting. The Do-Yourself expert has posted a since-deleted photo Monday showing her baby bump. A source says Nikki is such a great father already, and Courtney is going to be the best mom. She is so caring. The new baby will be Sixx's first child with Courtney. He's already parents to 4 children, 27-year-old son Gunnar, 24-year-old daughter Storm, and 23-year-old son Deckard with Randy Brandt, and 18-year-old daughter Frankie J with Donna DeRecchio. Sixx and Courtney married in Beverly Hills, California in March 2014. Sixx said in an interview with The Guardian the next year that he wanted to have another child. The star says, "I have 4 amazing children, and it's been the greatest thing that's ever happened in my life. They teach me every day. I try to show them what I've learned." He added, "No matter what happens in my kids' lives, I'll be there for them. My family means everything to me, and I will do anything for them. With my wife, they're the most important thing in my life." The Rolling Stones, Katy Perry, and Dave Matthews Band are set to headline the 2019 New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival. The 50th annual festival will be held from April 25th to the 28th, and then from May 2nd to the 5th at the Fairgrounds Racecourse in New Orleans. Jimmy Buffett, Chris Stapleton, Bob Seger, Carlos Santana, Pitbull, Van Morrison, Al Green, Logic, Earth, Wind & Fire, J Balvin, Gladys Knight, Chaka Khan, Tom Jones, Alanis Morissette, the Doobie Brothers, and Ziggy Marley, and many more are also set to perform. Each date of the festival will feature a different lineup of artists. The Rolling Stones will be on the stage on May 2nd alongside Marley, Jones, and Mavis Staple. Tickets go on sale for the general public on Friday starting at $70 through Ticketmaster's. VIP passes are also available. Carlos Santana has announced a 29-day North American Supernatural Now tour that will take place in the summer. The tour marks the 20th anniversary of Santana's multiple Grammy-winning 1999 album Supernatural, and the 5th. Santana will be kicking things off on June 22nd at the Action Pavilion in Phoenix, before wrapping things up on August 25th at the Northwell Health at Jones Beach Theater in Waukegan, New York. He'll also be performing in cities such as Los Angeles, Seattle, Salt Lake City, Denver, Dallas, Kansas City, Chicago, Toronto, Cleveland, Detroit, and Boston. Tickets go on sale for the general public starting on January 25th through Live Nation. The Doobie Brothers will be accompanying Santana on all tour dates. Supernatural featured the #1 hit Smooth and Maria Maria. The release would sell over 30 million copies worldwide. Santana will be performing songs from Supernatural along with new tracks from his upcoming EP In Search of Mona Lisa, that's set for release on January 25th. And here are the top 10 songs on the Billboard Hot 100 sales charts for the week of January 19th. Number 10, Kodak Black featuring Travis Scott and Offset with ZZ. Number 9, Benny Blanco, Halsey, and Cully with Eastside. Number 8, Lil Baby and Gunna with Drip Too Hard. Number 7, Maroon 5 featuring Cardi B with Girls Like You. Number 6, Marshmello and Bastille with Happier. Number 5, Panic at the Disco with High Hopes. Number 4, Travis Scott with Sicko Mode. Number 3, Ariana Grande with Thank You Next. Number 2, Halsey with Without Me. And the number 1 song on the Billboard Hot 100 sales charts for the week of January 19th, it's Post Malone and Swally with Sunflower from the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse soundtrack. And now let's take a look at what happened on this date in entertainment history. On this date in 1966, NBC Television greenlights The Monkees. The inspiration came from the Beatles, the financing came from Screen Gems, the music came from Don Kirshner, and the stars came from an exhaustive audition process that began with an ad in the Daily Variety in September 1965. Madness auditioned for acting roles in a new TV series running parts of four insane boys ages 17 to 21. The ad drew more than 400 men to the office of Bob Rafelson and Bert Schneider, the young Hollywood producing team that would later make Easy Rider, but who for now were trying to milk the establishment rather than to defy it. They spent the next 4 months shooting, cutting, market testing, recutting, and remarket testing a comedy pilot that they hope would land them a national television deal. They got their green lit on January 17, 1966, when NBC ordered 32 episodes of The Monkees for its upcoming fall season. The next 8 months were a bit of a whirlwind for Rafelson and Schneider, for the songwriters and studio musicians assembled by Don Kirshner, and not least for the four insane boys chosen to become the Monkees. Mickey Dolenz had never played a drum prior to being cast as Mickey, and Peter Tork and Mike Nesmith had no acting experience prior to becoming Peter and Mike. Davy Jones was already a triple threat in the area of acting, singing, and being cute, but it had never been Rafelson and Shire's intention to find such all-around professionals. Shire explained to the press ahead of the Monkees premiere of The Monkees in 1966, we want guys who could play themselves. We didn't even look at actors, and we didn't look for experienced rock and roll groups. The strategy and indeed the entire grand scheme behind the Monkees' success beyond all expectations. Not only did the television show find success against formidable competition in its time slot from Gilligan's Island, but the group that was a made-for-television knockoff of the Beatles soon had actual records that were outselling the Beatles themselves. Vincent Canby of the New York Times foresaw the commercial success of Rafelson and Schneider's creation the moment he witnessed the reaction of a crowd of preteen girls during a promotional appearance by the Monkees just 3 days before their network debut. Canby wrote the Monkees' appearance yesterday afternoon at the Broadway was just part of an elaborate campaign to capture the teenage imagination. The thoroughness in the campaign, as shown yesterday, might prompt renewed debate on the age-old question of free will. Do the teenagers have a chance these days? And that is your entertainment report for Thursday, January 17th, 2019. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo. That's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Answer Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app. Search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Good night, and God bless you all.